Everybody wants to see it afterwards. And let me share my screen. All right, let me know if you guys can see my screen. Yay?
Yeah, bro.
All right, my
Yep.
man. All right, guys. So, as you already know, this is what we do every Sunday. We like to come in and see what our Bitcoin, because we all know, for those of you who don't know, Bitcoin is the mother coin, right? Just like SPY, if you guys ever traded stocks and options, people tend to look at SPY or the NASDAQ, especially SPY. I think I used to really tend to look at SPY whenever I was trying to trade like Tesla or Apple or any one of those big names, because, SPY pretty much is all your top stocks in one. And again, one big move from SPY kind of determines a lot of these other side stocks. So the same with our crypto. Bitcoin is the big daddy. Bitcoin is the one that makes the big moves. So sometimes if you're able to get a good notion on Bitcoin and kind of gather, if it's next to a resistance and it starts coming down, you can use that, right? Even if you don't want to trade Bitcoin itself, you can always use that to look at your other altcoins, because we know a lot of these altcoins follow, I don't want to say about 70 to 80, almost 90% of these altcoins all follow what Bitcoin is doing, right? So we know if Bitcoin has a big drop, let's say from right now, 17,256, let's say down to what, 1,600 right now, big old drop, that you would see a lot of these things, as green as they are, turn super red and follow suit. So this is why we tend to look at Bitcoin as our SPY, to kind of give us a good, like I said, a good indication of where these things are headed. And of course, we give it a few options, right? Like we look at it from different point of views, on a daily, on a weekly, to see and give us just some good leeway on how we can trade this week. So let me see, where's our main chart? BTC USDT P. Okay, this is the one daily. All right, guys. So let me erase this because I was using this as a trade the other day. Get all of this out. Trend. All right. So, guys, we're obviously still holding our nice little demand zone right here. What was it we were looking at last week? Last week we were just doing this, right? Already been 7 days. Yeah, we're pretty much holding. So last week we were talking about Bitcoin pretty much just staying in this range, right? Like we had a nice little demand zone right here. And let me paint that one now green with this demand zone, because now I was able to get some of these lines and boxes custom. That way I can just press one button and it's already with the name and everything, so you can see what it is. Have a nice little demand zone here on the hour. I mean on the daily chart that it's been holding, right? It's held since we had our nasty little drop from 500. I mean from 15, what was it, 20, almost 22 to 15. As you can see, we broke trend and everything that day, and we broke our nasty little demand zone that we had built up when we were holding above 20K. 18 was that line. We finally did break. So I'm still kind of, I don't want to say bullish or bearish at this point, because we're still boxed in, right? Like, yeah, I'll show you guys what I mean. Remove this. So we're still technically boxed in. I mean, we're not really making any solid moves, or we haven't yet, right? Doesn't mean it won't happen, right? Like even right now, we're getting really close to the highest point we've had on Bitcoin, which is at about what, 17,639. A nice little wall rejection. You have a clear cut rejection at that on the daily. So that's something that I'm looking at for a nice little rejection. And I think I even had this red line. Well, this line was, yeah, it was the kind of bottom here. I want to put it exactly to about here where we had that clean cut rejection. So that's the kind of line I'm looking at for a possible rejection. This week coming up, we're obviously super close. We have a small, just like we have a small demand zone, we have a little bit of supply zone right here. I want to say from here to just about here, supply. So as long as we continue to ping pong in here, once we break out of these zones, obviously it's when we kind of see a better movement, Hannah, a better movement of how these charts are moving. For these guys just joining us for the first time, we tend to see where these things box in, right? So when we first had that first break, Bitcoin coming down to the 18s, falling from the 30s. You know, we were ping ponging for a while, right? We were ping ponging as low as 17, going as high as almost 25, and then most of the weeks it was like 22 ish, 21 area. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. All right. My apologies. So yeah, so we were ping ponging just before like right, like I said, in between the 22 area, 25, and of course the 18, we finally did break, and as you can see, we had a trend break, trend line already set up, broke beautifully, gave us a nice fat big old red candle, which brought us down to these levels. So right now we're kind of still doing the same, right? We came down, we made a big move, but now we're just boxing in. So I think the next few days, and again, you can almost see how we're super close to this resistance right now at 17.5. I actually want to put an alert here to see if we make that big move where it's a nasty rejection, and we'll probably see a few days of it coming down, can again go as low as our 15. And mind you, we're getting in at around what, 17.5. So that's a pretty big move right there. If we can actually grab that, I'll be looking at that this week for sure. Um, if not, next scenario that I'm looking at is a breakout, right? Again, whenever you got these things boxed in, guys, that you can literally ping pong it, going from whatever point, on top to resistance to your point on bottom of the support, and you can literally box it in. Then all you're waiting for is a proper breakout from the top or a proper breakout from the bottom. And if it's not breaking out, then you can easily ping pong these things. And that's what we've been doing. I think even last week we made a few good trades, grabbing longs at that 18, and we were killing them. We were literally grabbing these things at 18. I think one of the lowest ones I had was about 18 to 11 or something like that. So it must have been one of these days, because look how low 18 to 11 went. It only went there one, two, three times. So out of one of these days, I really remember grabbing one and we shot up to like a few 100%. That shows you that when you got a good strong support range or a good strong demand zone, 10, if it's not breaking, like look for a nice little pop, right? Like right now, we have that zone here. We've been building in this section for a few days. If you ever guys want to measure it, you just go to your date range from here to here. We've been in here for 26 days already. That's almost a whole month of us just ping ponging, right? A little bit up, a little bit down. Again, nice little strong, 1 or 2 day moves, and then coming back down for another 2, 3 days. Nothing solid. Again, just ping ponging, and that's okay, because if you can do this on a day chart and you can see that we're actually making these moves, ping ponging up and down in our zone, then that's money for us scalpers, right? Because all we're looking for is smaller time frames, hour time frames, 4 hour, 30 minute, and you're catching these moves. And again, I showed you guys many times that if you can draw these patterns, you know, uptrend, right, on an hour chart. Here, let me label it out. And you could get a nice clear trend break on this, then this is something that I'm looking to short. And again, if I can, I'm a day trader. I love to try to get in and out the same time, same day. So I'm looking for time frames like this, the 15, the hour. It's already shown us that it's been riding up this trend for about 7 days. So it's been up. It's kind of showing us that in a week we've been kind of running up nicely, right? Then shit, man. What goes up must come down. Eventually, we're gonna hit a wall. Which, if you kind of look at it, right, we're coming to these nice little resistance points on Bitcoin. So again, we've been running for a few days now, almost a week. I want to see maybe a pullback coming here, unless we continue to get some decent news in the market and break these zones. Break this nice little supply zone on top. And then hopefully, yeah, let me erase this. Start making some bullish moves, man. Because again, guys, we already just reached the whole year. I think it was a few days ago, where we had this, right, where Bitcoin has been coming down from all the way November, right, November of last year, down to we're already what started December. So we have a whole year of this, man. Strictly a whole year of downtrend, right? Like shit. And again, for those of you that have been around for a long time, this can last up to 2, 3, 4 years. You never know with these charts, man, especially when it comes to big downtrends like this and sell-offs. And as long as I guess if we continue to get bad news, COVID or anything like that starts to spike up again, inflation, then we'll continue seeing that, right? We'll just mind it. We broke that weekly downtrend, which we were charting a few weeks ago, right? Like when we really started doing these Sunday preps, we were looking at all this and we were boxing these things in. We saw when we finally had our weekly breakout and we were skeptical, right? Like we was like, all right, well, it can break out, but that doesn't mean that it still can't drop, right? And it did exactly that. It didn't have a strong breakout where, I mean, it kind of did, right? Broke off from here, retested on this one, and then if you kind of brought anywhere around here, it gave you days of it getting all the way up to 20, almost 22 before it came down to the 15. So as long as we're doing this right now, boxing in sideways like this, um, I want to say I'm a little bullish until I see what happens here. This is gonna be my main, kind of my main target of what I'm looking at this week. Oh, where is this thing? Here we go. I want to see what happens around here the next few days. I'm gonna leave it here just so I know. And then I got my alert in case if we do reach this already set. All right, good. So I already have my alert set in case we get a nasty rejection up here. On the daily, if we do, then again, I'm expecting maybe a few days of downtrend. With a nice little trend break as well. We have lower highs as you can see. So we're definitely on an uptrend right now. And if we scale it down to the 4 hour, let's look at our indicators. Even our indicators, guys, man, they're all kind of like overbought, right? Well, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean in a second. All right, so just like I told you guys, it's not a written fact or in stone that MACD has oversold overbought areas. I personally like to put them up there, and I've told you guys that I used to get a lot of trades where they were up here, right, for longs, and it was just used to show me that if it didn't perform, I got the very brunt of some downtrends that would take days and hours just coming down, right? So that's something to look at, guys. Whenever if any of you do use the MACD, try to notice these areas, notice where your lines are, right? And if they're up here, then you're getting into a super. If you're trying to long something with your indicator up here, right, like that super overbought area, then you're kind of looking for trouble. You're looking for something to pretty much maybe cross and start showing you downtrend, and if it does, it's gonna be a while before you get out of that. This is why I kind of like to look for my longs, especially on swings or really good day trades. I love to look at it down here, right? I want these lines down here. This is my oversold area. Shh, coño. This is my oversold area down here, right? So this is what I'm looking for when I'm looking for these longs. Right now, look where we're at. Our lines, again, it isn't fully up here, which means that we still have space, right? Both times we had nice strong runs like this, right? Boom, nice strong runs. It brought up what is it? I think this is called the KSD line and forgot the other one, but it brought up your MACD lines all the way to the top, almost to what, 100, 117, over 100 on the line. So, it's showing you that we still have space, right? And again, if you look at from here to there, it's showing you that, right? Like last time it rejected here, boom, it rejected there. They got to their highest point, right? Right now, even our stochastic is oversold. I mean, excuse me, overbought, right? So I honestly feel like we're getting close to that, range. And again, right, what goes up must come down. We've been running for a week. I think we're probably going to get a rejection off of this. If Bitcoin is doing what I've seen it normally do, which is, you have a nice zone like this, it rejects. I haven't seen too many breakout trades in this market. That's why I think at the beginning I was kind of messing up a lot because I'm a breakout trader. That's what I always look for. That's my cup of tea. That's my expertise is breakout trades, right? And it wasn't giving it to me. And I was buying longs at reject zones like this, supply zones, thinking and anticipating the breakout, but I wasn't getting any, man. I was getting rejection, boom, it came down, and then I was taking losses. So this market hasn't been doing that a lot. It hasn't really given me much breakout trades, which is why I've been focusing more now on just rejections and bouncing off of zones like this. If I'm finding this squared off consolidation, on any chart, I'm looking for these zones. Longing down here, shorting up here, right? So, and again, even with Bitcoin, man, when I put it on the hour, now I'm really seeing this little next point that it can also reach, right? In case it does breach out of this demand zone, I mean, supply zone right up here. We also have some strong little bit of resistance right here at 18.29. But again, we still have this first wall, I think, to go break out through before that can happen. And again, we have our set alert at 17.5 in case we do get a nice rejection, something that I'm gonna really jump on for a short if the signs look right. And again, if these things continue to show it being overbought, then it's a great sign for something that is probably it's time to come down. So that's what I'm looking at this week, man. I'm looking at a possible rejection on Bitcoin. If we can get a nice rejection off of this zone, we'll be shorting this, and of course, most of the market. Just depending on, I guess, how much it really breaks down. If it does break down from that zone, um, probably give us a few red days. I'm assuming that's my opinion. Other than that, if we don't, right, what's the next best option? Breakout, man. And if you know, if we get that breakout here, looking for a rejection here, even from what 17.5 to 18.3, that's about 800 points right there that you can still ride on 100x, on a nice little pullback, of course. Breakout, and that should push a lot of these other altcoins as well if we do get a breakout from these zones. So we have, potentially big moves. Either way, they're both big moves. Either we get a nice breakout, and you guys seen, what happens when you break out of these zones, right? I've shown you guys plenty of times. Nice breakout zones from the top on your supply zone tends to give you a big run. Breakout zone from the bottom, as we've seen many times, especially on Bitcoin, drops like fucking no tomorrow. So we have that move, right? We're getting literally to that point where either we reject super hard in this area. Again, this is my opinion. I, I am expecting a nice, nasty drop like Bitcoin tends to do, right? Its MO. It loves to drop super hard on us, so why not catch it if we can definitely get it here? If not, I'm also anticipating a strong move on the upside if we can break these levels, man, because it's just gonna show us that once we came down to these levels, right, on the daily, it's just showing us that we're kind of rebounding super fast, from this nasty drop. And if we do kind of break this little zone, I'm assuming that we kind of almost come right back to this area that we broke out from just, a few weeks ago, right? Where we were just consolidating. And this was a pretty good zone, I think. It was the 18 to the 24s and 25 levels. I'm hoping we can hold there, come back up because this zone is just nasty, man. We all know what's next in case we do break this zone, right? It's the 14s, it's the 13s, it's the famous 12 that everybody keeps talking about. So, those are things that we look at, right? If it breaks this demand zone, we short, ride it till 12 or whatever, wherever decides to kind of hold a nice price action there. So that's it, guys. That's what I'm looking at Bitcoin. If you guys have any questions, now's the time. If not, I will move on to Ethereum to see what's Ethereum showing us. Then I will move over to SPY and look into some of these other side charts like LTC, like XRP, maybe even Doji or SHIB. See if we can throw in a few meme ones and see if we can get a nice setup on those for these weeks as well. But oh, one thing I was looking at was this, and I said it when what's his name? Oh, when Tex mentioned it. Let me see if I can see it now on the iPad. It looked really clear, but we almost got a cup and handle forming on BTC right now on the hour chart, and I think I've told Mr. Kicks that if we do form that, right? Look at your neckline right here. It stopped exactly there, right? We have our cup, all right. And now we're waiting for the handle, the little drawback, and boom, up. So right now, I don't get in because of that, because we're literally at that neckline, and this is gonna, determine if this is a cup and handle or not, if to see how low this handle goes, right? Again, there's no exact fucking count or place on the handle. As long as it's not all the way down here, then that is not a cup and handle. It would have to kind of almost, I want to say, be above this zone. Let me see, where is this? Right here, it would have to almost be, let me see, so this is a cup right here, handle, I want to say above this zone. Where is it? Something like this. All right, so you have your cup, handle drops, and look, if even if it does drop and almost comes to this zone right here, right, like it's almost still following trend, right? Again, we can have wicks. This wick can be all the way down to here. I told you guys, but if that body closes up here and it continues to follow, then it's still following trend. And right now, look, it's been holding that trend beautifully. Look how the bodies hug the trend line. So again, even if this does give us this handle and starts to reject within the next few hours, I'm looking at a possible long around this area right here. Again, it could be scalped until tomorrow, tonight. We'll see if we get it, but I'm looking at that today, maybe for a nice little possible scalp if we get the handle, and we'll play this nice little cup and handle on the hour and see if it plays out. If not, of course, stop loss right here. Yeah, I'm gonna say about right there. Stop loss a little bit right here if it doesn't play out. But yeah, it looks good. I think we might actually get a nice look. There it goes, right there. Nice little cup. So I'm looking at that for today as well. Possible day trade today. Scalp if we can get that, and it's already kind of almost like showing that it's having trouble getting above that neckline. Like little 5 minute cup and handle, bam, bam. All right. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about Bitcoin, let me know. If not, we will move on to our next chart. All right, let's rock. All right, so let's look at Ethereum now. And I want to look at Matic too. You guys already know how I feel about Matic. If you don't know, guys, I am a huge Matic fan. I've been doing this, what the fuck? For almost 3 years, and I've always wanted to buy Matic. I've never been big on buying any spot on anything, to be honest, just because every time when I first started, everything was already rising and in this bull market. So I always felt like everything was already high. So I never really bought any spot until now. But I finally got Matic under $1, and I'm super proud because I've always wanted Matic under $1. And we've been looking at just certain levels that if it does go down, we're gonna add to. But right now, I think our entry price on Matic, or at least mine, is at 84 cents, which is fucking beautiful, man. If it continues to pick up from here, then we'll look at levels where to add money on your spot if you are holding Matic with me. But Ethereum always looks better, man. I swear, Ethereum always looks better. This is our daily, right? We had our weekly trend here. Let me look at the weekly. Let me take out. These are just entry lines that I had on trade. All right, right. So we had our trend break already on Matic as well. Okay, we had to look at lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. That's damn a whole year of just nasty downtrend, right? However, we have a strong demand here. Let me put this one right. Demand zone. Okay, we have a nice, nice strong demand here, and I want to put it exactly right there. All right, so we have a nice demand here. What we're seeing, previously January 21, bounced off of, ran, right? When we finally started getting that drop, sell off, we had a trend break right about here. Shorts started coming in, bears kicked ass, brought it down, right? Even when they did bring it down, just like the whole market did, after COVID times and everything, it bounced exactly, if not almost exactly, where it bounced before, right? Right in this zone, and started giving Matic life again. A lot of these other coins, like I told you guys, right? I mean, Ethereum, a lot of these other coins that didn't hold as well, they're all down here, right? They're below their entry prices. This is why I think Matic and Ethereum is always just going to be two of my favorite coins to invest in, because even with your whole market coming down, they didn't go back to entry prices, as far as they didn't go back to levels where they first started, right? They kind of still held its ground, and Matic, I mean, and Ethereum is one, man. Ethereum is always, I think, is going to be my second favorite coin to hold long term. It's more stable, more safer than Bitcoin, I want to say. You know, Bitcoin is more for the guys that like that wild ride. Ethereum is more for, conservative guys that just want to see their money grow, over the years, nice and steady. So, Ethereum, if you haven't bought some already, these are the levels, man. These are the levels that I personally haven't added yet to Ethereum, because I was hoping we would kind of get one more dip to this like 1,000 range, which we kind of did the other day. Where was it? We went as low as 1,000. That should have been my first buying zone right there. But yeah, guys, I feel like that was it, honestly. The lowest, of course, we were looking at was 800. However, it didn't do that. It gave us actually a lower high, right? Now we're in almost an uptrend right here, lower high, still held above here. So now we have a small demand zone right here, right? So this is something that in this week, if it comes down as low as that, this is something I'm looking to long, right? And if it happens to break, then this is obviously the next point. Is it gonna happen? I do not know, but it's good to prepare, right? So we have our demand zone on Ethereum. I want to say lowest we're looking at it is about 1,080s. We have our zone up here, our supply, guys, and this is why I'm telling you guys. I feel like a lot of these things might reject this week, because look at the resistance here, man. Like clean cut, and like you don't even need a zone. You can almost just put a resistance line right here, right? Like exactly there, finished, right? Opened up there, right? Come to these days. almost exactly. Closed here, opened up there, boom, closed here again. Like we have some nasty, and I mean nasty sell pressure at that. And look at the number, right? I just put that number up just by looking at what I'm seeing on, on the resistance side, and look at what the number it is. It's exactly 1300. That shows you that, you have some sick bears, man. Some really sick bears that really don't want to see Ethereum break past 1300. They keep bringing it down any one of these days that they've tried to bring it above 1300, right? So this is our supply zone. This is showing us that whenever it does come in here, we have a lot of guys that's going to try to bring it down, right? So something to see. And again, this is what I'm telling you guys. I really feel like we might see, unless we see a breakout, right? Look, we even have our trend line now. I just identified it. Bam, right here. We have lower highs, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high. Uptrend, okay? But we're also coming to this zone. So if we do get a rejection, which this will be another one that we can definitely look at. Let me see if I can find an exact point or DCA-ish line that I would look at. I want to say something about right here. So let me erase this one. I'm going to look at this one for possible entry on a short if we do reach it this week. Let me set the alert. And then write possible entry. That way I can remember. But this is how you set yourself up, guys. Sometimes when you're bored, pull out charts. Like, start dissecting these things. Damn, I wrote all kinds of shit. And set yourself up for success. That way you don't always have to get a call or something and you're there trying to break your head, ripping these charts apart when you could have had this done already. Whenever you guys are bored, take the time to really break these charts down and set it up. That way, when you're coming into this is why I love our Sunday preps, right? This week I can come back, throughout the whole week and see what levels we're at because we're doing it at bigger time frames, right? I'm a scalper. I'm always gonna be a scalper / day trader. That's my thing. But I still draw my zones on the daily, on the 4 hour because you kind of almost see them better. Right, like you see all this clear cut support right here. You have a strong support right here, right? Because all of these days, and it's just stopping ish more or less here. And I told you guys, whenever you guys are looking for strong support or strong resistance, get your touches. If I was to put a line right here, how many touches do I have? And again, you got your bodies, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 touches, man. That's more than enough. That's showing you that shit, man. You have some strong support there. Why? Because each of these days, and again, it's crypto, right? It's never going to be exact. This is why we do zones. It's showing us that it can go as low as this. But look, every time it got to this zone, it got pushed back up, right? Came down, boom, strong support, pushed back up. Again, strong support, but this time it broke everything, right? Like it broke trend. It broke, I think that was a weekly line, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Let me write it down. Hold on. I like to label these things so I know exactly what I'm looking at. Weekly trend line. But I want to put this in the middle so it's not in my way. Yeah. All right. All right. So again, strong support right there. That's something to look at as well. 1269, right? And look, right now we're actually a little above it. So that's showing us good signs. We're almost kind of going back to these little levels right after that nasty drop. But we have, resistance here. So I'm telling you guys, if we get a nice breakout out of this zone, I'm assuming we get something like this, right? Like a nice push up, right? Look, and this will show you, right? Same thing here. We had a zone here. We had a supply zone. Kept coming into this zone and getting pushed back down, right? Push down, push down. What happens when you get a breakout? Look, I mean, just look at it. This is why I love breakout trades, guys, because you get more out of your trades. You get more bang for your buck, and sometimes it's faster than others. But this is why I like these zones, right? Because once they break, they fucking break, right? Same thing here. If you draw a nice little, demand zone. Yeah, there we go. Right? What happened when you broke that demand zone here? And again, let's look at this. Bam, right? Support, pushed up. Came down, support, pushed up. Came down again. But what happens when it breaks the zone? Fat red candles, right? Like you can see the difference. So if you guys haven't already, man, throw these zones in there, man. Try to look it up. Again, we're having one-on-one classes. I'm building a whole mentoring section there. I'm gonna reach out to a few of these top analysts, see who wants to be in it. If not, I will be in there myself. doing one-on-ones, private mentoring for certain things. I definitely want to get some Elliott Wave specialists in there. So if you're interested and you're here, DM me and I'll get you guys set up as well. But we're really gonna start taking things to a whole nother level, guys, when it comes to education. I told you guys, man, I'm not gonna be here, expecting you guys to hold my hands to these trades, but I want to teach you guys and so you guys can understand exactly what we're doing, right? And eventually break off and do these things yourself, because that is the whole point. Um, this is why we're here. This is why we build good vibes, so we can teach guys like yourselves how to actually trade, not just, hey guys, look, Kenny made a call, go on his call, and that's it. Like it's everybody starts that way, right? We all started there. It's a great way to learn. This is why I try to post as much detail into my charts when I send it to you guys, so you guys could just learn off of that. But where you're gonna learn is these classes, right? These lives, these one-on-one private one-on-ones, and again, invest money to make money, right? I took a few classes myself when I was learning, just, this is an investment. I put money into somebody that was teaching me how to read these charts, right? So it's walks hand in hand, and it worked out because now, thank God, with hard work and all everything I've invested in it, like it's paying off. So definitely take the time to invest in yourselves, guys. Any questions on Ethereum? Same thing, like I said, neutral-ish. Unless we get a nice breakout, breakout from the top, obviously, then we're super bullish this week. If not, we get a rejection, which we already see one on Bitcoin as well, on near a strong supply zone. Then I'm assuming we get a rejection, and then the next few days of red, which would help me get some of these shorts. Any questions so far on Ethereum and Bitcoin, guys? Going once, going twice. All right, now let's move over to our stock side for you stock lovers. So again, SPY. SPY is my baby, man. That's what I look to look at. Daily, we're on the daily, yeah, yeah. See, as you can see, guys, we're always drawing this shit out, man. Like these are certain levels we were looking at. Every Sunday, like I said, we are always coming back looking at our original charts to see if we have any movements and if our predictions are correct, right? Um, we were looking at this a few weeks ago and we kind of saw a nice little demand zone with this strong support right here being at 352. And guess what? That week it did bounce off of it and it went a little lower. That's fine, right? But once it did catch on, it caught on, right? It gave us a nice uptrend, had 1 or 2 days of that trend break, but then retested and can continue giving us newer highs. However, look at this, right? We had this line as well. We've been having this line for weeks, because ever since SPY peaked out at 479, it had a rejection, right? What goes up must come down. Every time we get on certain stocks and cryptos and we want this, right? We all want this. Realistically, it's just doesn't always happen. You have to have a pullback for something to give you new highs, especially if you're in an uptrend, right? So, um, this one peaked out, man. It peaked out at 479 and we started getting lower highs. I think we drew this line around here when we saw the third, what is it, swing high, it's called, right? Yeah, the swing high, right? We have one here, one here, one here, lower high, lower high, lower high. There's your downtrend. And it happened to be that once we had this line drawn off in this week, it did all of this. It bounced off of our trend line here and look, boom, got exactly here. And look where it rejected, right? Like this is yesterday or the day before, Friday. That day it ran up and look, it fucking rejected exactly on our trend line. Like it's sick to me, man. This is why I love, charting these things and getting better and better, man. Because when you could put a line up to something like this and it respects it to the fullest, right? You got to remember, even this day, although it's green, if you caught a short this day, right? Let me show you guys what I mean. If you caught a short this day because you believe in your TA and you had this line already drawn out and you're like, you know what, the minute it comes close to this line, I'm going to short this. And let's say you bought it in here. Boom, it came down as low as that day, right? Your entry would have been what, about 4.8, 4.09. It went as low as 4.04 that day, right? And then yes, the next day it did close green. However, that day it opened up at 4.02, dude. So you ate, man. Like you really profited really nice from 4.09 almost to 4.02. Before it started to run back up, right? And again, even if you entered here, bought a few contracts on SPY, took profits here and still running with one, you should be having stop loss at entry in case if it does happen to come back and break through this, right? And again, I wouldn't be surprised, guys, because if you look at our is it our indices? they've been running, man, like really running. Our Dow Jones has been running. The S&P has been running. Which one else? Let me see. I got my whole list right here. Hold on, symbols. Let me see the flag, bruh. There we go. Okay, so the DAX also, look, DAX has been fucking running. Like a lot of these things have been running, guys. So that's just good for our market, right? As long as the market, these things ain't dropping, Hong Kong, all of these, and it's just showing pretty good signs of things pushing up. A lot of them peaked out at strong bottoms. And again, this is our indices chart, bam, weekly right there. Look, even on the weekly, you can spot trend, man. These things are easy to spot. There's lower highs, almost like this right now. All right, boom. 1, 2, almost 3, 4. And this is the weekly. Damn, this is probably be a nice long. Shit. If it peaked out right there. And look, I had a trend line already drawn on the daily on this. This is Hong Kong. And it broke out. You see what I'm saying? They respect trend lines, man. I swear they fucking do, right? Look at that nasty downtrend I had drawn out. I haven't came back to this chart in God knows how long, so it obviously played out already. But I had this trend line drawn out before this. We were having lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Broke, right? I could have gotten any one of these 3 days, man. And look, I mean, still would have been printing. So that shows you that you can do this shit on anything. Indices, charts, gold, silver, forex, commodities. Like, just gotta be able to find your trends and your zones. Look at the silver. Silver has a nice little almost demand zone right about here. Demand, I want to say maybe supply about here. This is silver. Okay, silver, yeah. Yeah, so silver right now, another thing we can always look at to trade, just broke through a kind of a demand zone. I mean, supply zone I had here. Right, let's take all this shit out of the way. Got a nice uptrend going right about here-ish. Trend. Then it had a supply zone here. Oh, actually, it's still in the supply zone, isn't it? Right here till right here. So it's exactly in the supply zone now as we speak. Damn. Oh, there you go. This is something that you can look at right on silver. If we get a nice breakout, play the long, a risky long, or wait for the pullback and maybe get a nice another little bounce off of this trend line. Now it's really hugging the bodies, right? Hugging the body there. 1, 2 touches. 3, 4. Look how it hugs body. So guys, for those that always ask when I do these trend lines, I try to get any touches as far as wick or body. I favor the body, right? I favor, as you can see, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. I'll zoom in here. Get this shit out of the way. This and this, right? So when I draw my trend lines, I try to always, let me get this out of the way, hug the body, man. The closer to the body, like this, you see I'm hugging the hell out of the body here. Yeah. So that one is there. I can still get a touch right there. And I can still get a touch like this. Right, so there, you see, I'm still getting a touch off of this. Mind, this is a daily, right? We're also going on a 4 hour or something. You could probably see that the body hugs a lot better on this, but on the daily, I'm getting 1, 2 touches, 3 touches, right? Hugging the body. That's what I really want. The more of this I can get, the better. Right here, hugging the body, right? And look, let's say if you had this line drawn out already from here like this, before this happened, you can see that once it came down almost exactly on it, right? And took off. So that's how I like to draw these things. Always try to get it, like I said, a better uh grip on the body than the wick. However, the wick does count, right? Like as you can see, even when I do my demand zones, I always try to get it as above as the highest wick that I can get. And like right here, I see this one, so I kind of moved it up a little because we're in that zone right now. But always try to get the top of the highest wick that you can see on your left. And trend lines, try to hug the body the most, but still get your wick touches because every touch does count. And the more touches you get, the stronger the trend is. All right, so that's silver. Let me see. Gold. I think you already looked at. Let me see. Got gold. See, I was looking at this bad boy. Look, bearish channel, man. Oh God, bearish channel, right? Broke out. I actually waited for the retest. This was the trade last week, and shit, I could have still held. Look at this trade last week, right? Broke out of a bearish channel, okay? I didn't what's it called? Rush to trade, right? And just jump in it because I saw a breakout. I waited for the pullback, right? So again, you have a breakout trade. This is a perfect example of a breakout trade. This is why I love these trades. You have a bearish channel, right? You're breaking out from the top channel, boom, has a sell off, right? At one point, it has to stop pushing up. You wait for that sell off. And mind you, it gave you 1, 2, 3, 4 days of sell off. I think I caught an entry right here, played up until here, gave us like almost 80, 100%. Came back, and I swear it did hit stop loss at entry. At least it did on BingX, but here is not showing, and that's fucked up because it kind of took me out of the trade. But whatever, it was still profits. But look, continuation, right? Like it retested. This is what you look for on a breakout, man. My one of my biggest mistakes, and I show you this, guys, because one of my biggest mistakes as a trader was always this, right? I love breakouts, and I used to just wait for the first candle to show me breakout, and then I used to just jump on, and sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes you'll get the retest and then it performs. And I used to always cut on the retest because I used to think that it was just gonna go down, right? Like if you caught this, if you longed it right here this day because you see a breakout, you're getting all of this, you're gonna want to sell. It's gonna make you want to sell, right? It's gonna fucking 4 days of red. It's gonna make anybody think that this is just gonna come right back down. But it finds support, shows it right here. 2 days, almost 3 days of support right around here. Grab an entry, boom, came back down, bounced again on entry, and then just took off and looks really good. Like it might continue even pushing up today. Damn, look at that 4 hour candle. Broke resistance right here. Oh, it's still breaking. It got 9 minutes left. But this is what I look out on a breakout too, right? This is your resistance. Um, Support about right here. There, right? Support, resistance, breakout. You still need to wait for that to really close above it to confirm the breakout. And this can potentially be a nice little long, to be honest. So this is something I'm probably gonna keep this chart right over here so I can look at a little later. All right, let's see what else. Let's look at a few forex charts, see what these guys are looking like. For those of you guys using BingX, man, I've been having a lot of chats with the support team. I'm not happy about how some of these trades are closing. So they already talked to their development team, and they promised that they were gonna try to fix it ASAP because I told them we have a lot of guys complaining, including myself. If I don't like something, I'm not gonna use it, right? I don't care what it is. So they promised they're gonna start taking care of it. As far as forex goes, they are a few charts, and look, I have these two with an orange tab because I noticed these two charts. Whenever I get in it, the slippage is disgusting, bro. Like you automatically get a -10%. I don't like that shit, right? Like who the hell wants to jump on a trade and right off the back you're -10%? So if you do like forex, try to stay away from these two. Maybe again, it might work differently in another state. I don't know. I don't know the process, but I'm telling you guys from my experience, every time I try to trade these two, I get an automatic -10%. So I try to stay away from these two right here. Other than that, I think we have a few. Look, this one has been in a demand zone for a while, right? Almost poked out from the bottom, and it kind of did, but it came right back the next day. So that shows you that this is still a pretty valid zone. Might play a nice little long from here, to be honest. Let me see how the 4 hour looks. Boom. See, our lines are down here, like I like, right? For a nice little swing. This looks like it's getting a nice crossing. And let me look at momentum. What is this? Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. This one right here. So this is what I like to use for the momentum. Any oscillator is good like this. You'll have your TTM squeeze. This one, what's the name of this one again? Squeeze momentum, lazy bear, something like that. You have EWO, you have AO, have many different oscillators like this that kind of give you momentum. The way it works is when your bars are under like this, strong red means a strong downtrend, right? When it's light like this, or should I say vice versa, it's showing that that downtrend is dying down, right? So right now it's kind of showing us that it is a bit dying down, which is great because if it does start to die down from here, then we'll start to see this, right? We'll see it die down and hopefully turn into uh bullish momentum, and same thing with this. Whenever your bars are above this line, strong green is just strong uptrend. When it's dying down, it will turn dark like this. So momentum, man. I'm a momentum trader. I love these things. Like it really does help me kind of get a good grasp on what these charts are showing. I do like this from here, so I'll probably look for a long here on that one. A few of these other ones. Let's see. See, with Forex, what I like, and I told you guys that I really want to start diving more into is because look at this, man. Their daily charts looks like our hour charts sometimes. So I feel like with these trades, you really got to kind of focus. And if you're not a swing trader, maybe this will help you become a swing trader. And that's what I'm hoping because I'm a scalper, but I want to learn how to be a little better at swinging. So I'm guessing, or I'm hoping that I think Forex might be that tool for me to get better at swings because I do see a lot of patterns on these things that tend to perform better on a bigger time frame, right? On the daily, the 4 hour. And if you're trading on that time frame, guys, like give yourself time, give yourself space for the trade to perform. Expect days of that shit running, expect days of it performing to actually show you a great performance because it's a bigger time frame. So looking at a breakout above this on the euro, if it does that, crossing above once the candle is closed, boom. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's pretty much it for our Sunday prep. News wise, somebody said we had some kind of fucking news. What was it this week? Damn, what is happening? No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like this long charted. I like that long on G. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. I'm liking that one too, actually, man. I might grab some myself. Um, yeah, I don't think there's any news. If not, if I find anything news, I'll post it in the chat, tag you guys. Um, I think somebody posted something about Baker earlier. I think that was Nando. Nothing again, nothing crazy that is gonna stir up the market, right? Like when I hear news, I want to make sure I'm paying attention to big news, something that's gonna stir up the market, right? All these little things I try to stay away from. I'm not news driven, guys. I'm strictly TA, will always I think be that way. However, it doesn't mean that I can't add news to the arsenal and sometimes, pay attention to certain news things that will help me find better patterns kind of thing. But it was up here somewhere. Where the fuck is it? I don't know. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, I think I am done. Kenny, I have a question regarding BTC. Earlier, you mentioned that 17.5 price zone was a hot zone. Where this uptrend could break out. I personally saw the 18 as a hot zone where it could form a double top. Let's look at that. Okay, 1801 on BTC for a double top. BTC USDTP. Yeah, look, you almost have a double top going right now. Damn, B, we should fucking short this puppy right now, guys. I'm about to put my money where my mouth is. Look at that double top. Almost exact. Almost exact. Look, I'll put it there for you guys. Almost exact. Like, look, missed it by an inch and then has a pullback going. You're telling me that we can't see some? Oh, guys! Oh my God, guys! I think I'm gonna fucking guys. Let's scalp this. We'll put yo, good eye on that. Marco, right? MACCO, Mr. Bear. I'm gonna play a little short on this, and again, just if we can get it, I'll get that stop loss right there. Super short. It'll be a small loss, but I really want to play that double top. Like it looks really really good. Look at that shit, guys. Like instant rejection, man. Instant pullback from that. 5 minute. Let's see how the 5 is looking. Yeah, I'm getting on this. Bing X. Open. Full port. No, I'm just playing. Uh full port BTC, and I'll put out the call right now as soon as I jump in. I'm doing 100x. Short. Alright, I'm in. I'm in. Put out the call. And once I put out this call, guys, I'm gonna hop off. Go put my son to bed, do the whole dad thing, and then I'll come back. And if you guys want to look at some more trades, now that we did our Sunday prep, you guys have an idea of how we might hit up the market. We're expecting a big move. For now, we could look at some scalps. like even BTC pulling back again. It's still strong momentum upward, but that double top is there. Like it's in our face, so why not play it? The R&R is great, right? From here to there, it won't be much of a loss, guys. I don't even have to measure that shit. Like 100x, we're here. That's 60, well, less than 55%, man. Um, so I like this trade. Damn, I gotta put it out. Hold this shit. Hold on. Open BTC short entry 17272 100x. Very risky trade. Bam, bam. Let's see if we can get this, boys and girls. I'll see you ladies in here too. That's good. Very good. Um, here. Oh, you talking about? Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a small one here, guys. Again, Marco, you're not wrong. I see it. I definitely see it right there. The 18208. Let me look at it at a bigger time frame. Absolutely. You know, this could probably be a minor one that we're having right now. Look at that fucking rejection, guys, already up 14%. Um, this could be a minor one. And this could also be the handle coming down, right? Because remember, I told you guys, look, we have that fucking cup and handle forming still. You know, this can possibly be the handle. So let me get this little demand zone down here. Right? We can even get it up to almost right here-ish. Maybe take profits at 1700-ish. You know, if it's gonna do cup and handle, right? We definitely want to grab profits if it is gonna do that. Come down and then rocket up upward. But for now, I think it's just it by itself being this double top. It looks pretty fucking clutch, man. I really like this trade. So thank you for that, for me, for bringing it up to our attention and being able to catch the hour. Now the one you're talking about is this bad boy up here. I seen that one. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about this right here, 18243. Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful eye, dude. Beautiful fucking eye. So that could be the next support, right? That we're looking at in case this bad boy is still pushing up. Because remember, guys, right now the market is green, right? Like, and this is the quickest way I always tell you guys to look at your market is look at your right. I mean, look at this shit. Everything is green. Everything is green. So yes, this is a very risky trade right now, doing a short in the green market. And again, just because it's green doesn't mean we can't have a pullback, which is what we're hoping for right now on Bitcoin. I don't think it's gonna be a big move. I'm just again looking at a double top on the hour, boom, boom, right? And seeing if it'll perform. If it doesn't perform, my stop loss is right here. No questions about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's how you train yourselves to, stick to your fucking rules. Like, that's it. If it doesn't perform, then we take the loss, we move on, and we look at another trade, right? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's always going to hit 100 and 100% every day. But this is how you practice these trades, right? If we got a nice little entry here on a possible double top, our risk to reward shouldn't be no more than this, right? Our reward is all the way down here. I can even show you guys short position, right? All right, let me get my entry and set this up, guys. Hold on. Entry coordinates 272. 272. All right, so that's my entry. Bam, bam, right? Like we have great R&R on this. Great R&R, man. Look, right there. No more than 59%, but we have a possibility of making over 200, 65%? Like, fuck me. I like this. So, something that we could ride for today. Let me put out this call. I already put out the call. Let me put out the chart for everybody, and then I will go put my son to bed with my wife. And I'll be back in a few minutes. TP number 2. TP number 3. TP number 4 right there. And a possible TP number 5 down here. We can get that. That'll be a fucking beauty. Right in this zone. That'll be a fucking pretty beauty. DCA if you want to. I mean, maybe somewhere up here. Let me look at the 5. Maybe we'll see exactly where we can DCA. I mean, point right there. Honestly, I don't even think we need to DCA on this shit. I'm just going to put a stop loss and that's it. Hour. Bam. Stop loss right there. Bam, bam. All right, guys, that's our play for Bitcoin up 18%. If you got on the minute I called it, VC, it looks good, guys. Give me a few minutes and I'll be back and we can do some more live trading tonight because I'm telling you guys, I want to fucking trade, man. We killed it last week. We've been grinding with good vibes and with black ties. But I need to put that, on pause and continue trading. I miss my trading. I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to have fun trading. And I want to make sure this week we have fun. So we're gonna do some more classes, more lives this week for sure. Um, and do what we do best. All right. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, I'm gonna head out and I'll be back in about another hour or two. Uh, if you guys are in this trade, it's already here. So let me just save this image and send it. And we are good to go. All right, guys. I will talk to you guys later. It's been a pleasure. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys in chat. Peace.